Hey there, legal warriors. On this video, I'm going to cover when is the worst time to switch attorneys in your criminal matter in Washington State. There's good times and there's nightmare times, and I don't want you to make this mistake. So if you're interested in the state of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 25 years. I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. Now, I know you may be wondering, maybe you're not, but hey, are these videos filmed, really close in time to when we put them out? And that's, yeah. These videos are filmed pretty close in time. In fact, I'm filming this on Wednesday, and hopefully it's going to be published the next day on Thursday. And that's why I bring this up, because my voice sounds a little bit off. I was in Nashville, and I think I came back with a Nashville nasty, whatever that is. And, I'm trying to get this video done so I can make sure I keep putting out content that people, hopefully you, find useful. And in this video, I'm going to cover, it's going to be a bit shorter because of my voice, but when is the worst time to switch attorneys? Now, you may or may not know, in a criminal case where you hire an attorney, sometimes you do have the ability to switch attorneys, and there's lots of different reasons. Maybe the communication's not been great with your current attorney. Maybe someone got suspended, or maybe someone got disbarred, or hey, someone hired an attorney for you quickly and you're just not satisfied. And so we get calls like that. We get calls, hey, I already have a current attorney and I'm thinking about switching to your firm because whatever, you look better, the reviews, someone told us, for whatever reason, you're reaching out to another firm. So when is the worst time to switch attorneys? And I think the number one rule is the older the case is, it's more likely it's the worst possible time to switch an attorney. Literally, the worst time is just before trial. If the case has already been going on for 6 months or 9 months or something, there's been multiple pretrial hearings, there's been legal motions filed. If you're trying to switch attorney, unfortunately, there's a lot of damage that's already been done. If it's that far along, your current attorney has probably asserted a theory of the case, either officially in records or even worse, behind the scenes, and you don't know what that attorney has told the prosecutor. And believe it or not, there's multiple different theories of the case available in defense. There's I didn't do it, or I did something but it was justified, or hey, here's why they're lying about me, or here's why the camera seems to show this, but it really shows something else. Sometimes it's pure mitigation, right? Hey, we did wrong, but here's how we're working on ourselves, and this is why you should be lenient to us. And as you might guess, the biggest thing a defense attorney has is credibility. We really good attorneys have worked decades, usually, with the courts and prosecutors in establishing that what they say is the truth, right? If we say a client didn't do it, if we're not crying wolf, well, an attorney who, tries to be honest and direct about things, when we say a client didn't do it, that takes more attention than the defense attorney's like always asserting innocence, right? Because there's lots of ways out of cases besides innocence. We've covered that here. So if the case is farther along, the point is the new attorney coming in can very quickly lose credibility if they assert something totally opposed to what the past attorney said. Additionally, if you're bringing in an attorney later in the case, the court's going to have less patience, right? The court wants to see the case resolved. If you bring an attorney in too close to trial, or God forbid, after trial is set, there's going to be such a limited amount of time to get ready for trial that there's no way that they're going to be able to do an effective job compared to if they had the case from the beginning. So the worst time to switch is right before trial, and the older the case is, again, less likely it's a good time to switch attorneys. But Lance, I don't like this attorney. I want to get a different attorney. Well, number one, you want to work on the communication with your current attorney. Share with them what it is you don't like, right? Sometimes people don't like what we do. I have a lot of attorneys that work here in the firm, and they all have different communication styles, different strengths and weaknesses, and lots of times us attorneys make assumptions. We know what's going on, and we're in the midst of it. We're in the battle, and sometimes we don't really perfectly communicate to the client, the strategy and, how we're going to handle things. And so if it's late on in the case and you can't find anyone to substitute in, you really just need to improve the communication with your current attorney. Now, if they don't have emotional intelligence, it's not going to go anywhere, right? If they just feel criticized by you saying something, it's not going to go anywhere. And then maybe you have no choice but to try to find somebody that is willing to come in. But usually, at least if there's any type of internal problem with our clients, if we talk about it, we can understand sort of what the client's perception is about how something works or how they think it should work versus what's really going on. And it's usually just sort of the attorney making an assumption that a client sort of sees it a certain way, then maybe they don't really see it that way, or they've just sort of forgotten. Because sometimes us attorneys tell things to clients, and we know we've said it, but it doesn't mean it registered, right? Because the client's under so much stress, so much anxiety, it doesn't mean it registered. And so it's okay to ask again, hey, can you explain it again? Or why aren't we interviewing witnesses? Or why aren't we doing X, Y, and Z? And usually it's going to be a very good strategy reason for the experienced attorney to do things a certain way, but from what the client sees on TV and stuff like that, maybe how they think it should go is exactly how it should not go. And, you've probably heard that theme from me lately. So the best time to switch is early on, right? Hey, if you just hired an attorney, you've only been through a court date or so, and you want to switch, a lot less risk if it's earlier on in the case. If someone calls us saying, hey, we're not happy with a certain attorney, we'll ask who the attorney is, right? And we'll let someone know, hey, we think they're good, we think they're not good, we don't have any opinion, we never heard of them, but mainly say, hey, what's your complaint? What's not happening? And usually, first off, we're going to suggest we'll go back to them and sort of explain that, unless it's like someone we think isn't qualified, well, then we'll say, yes, come to us because we're going to save you from the unqualified person, but that's usually few and far between. So, when you are looking to switch attorneys, remember, you got to know why. You got to know what's going wrong with the situation. And if it's newer, you're going to have less risk from switching than if it's older. If it's older, I usually advise don't even try because anyone who's willing to take a case on that's old is probably fairly desperate as a defense attorney, and you're just going to get yourself from one fire into another, and more expense, more problems, and your mileage is going to vary. But remember, don't switch right before the end; then it's usually too late. So I hope you found that useful. If so, please like and please subscribe. Hopefully my voice will be back. And if you have a criminal problem in Washington State, feel free to reach out to our firm. If you get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.